Alaikum, marhaba. I hope everyone's doing well. Today is Census Day. It's April 1st, Census Day, and we at PAC are really encouraging everyone to make sure that they fill out the census. And so to do that, I'm going to be showing you guys how I'm going to fill out the census. So I actually received 3 letters in the mail from the census, and you all should have received something similar. So this is the first letter, this was the second letter, and this was the third letter. And we want everybody to make sure they do this. So this is التعداد. كل 10 سنين بيعملوا تعداد واحنا كلنا لازم نكون نعمل فيته. We all want to do part of it. So I'm going to open the first letter. راح افتح اول ظرف ومكتوب هون اعطوني رقم. They gave me a number that is specific to my house and my location. So I'm going to be going on to this website, which is written here, and then putting in my code. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I'm going to do it. So my 2020 census.gov. I spelled gov wrong, so it didn't give me the right one. Then it comes up. So then this is what comes up. It's this is the basic first page. You're gonna click start questionnaire. Now إذا بدكم إياه بالعربي بتحطوا بس هون، بتكبسوا هون وبعدين بيطلعكم العربي هون. فلما بتكبسوا هيك كله بصير بالعربي وبتقدري تملئيه بالعربي. بس أنا رح أعمله بالإنجليزي، فرح أرجع على السايت نفسه وأرجع للإنجليزي English. فرح نبدأ. فبعدين لازم نحط الكود اللي محطوط هون. So أنا أجالي هذا الكود KFXTQ. Now إذا ما أجالكم المكتوب أو ما أجالكم الكود عادي تقدروا لسه تدخلوا جوا وبعدين بدال ما تحطون تقدروا تكبسوا هون where it says, or you can press here. If you don't have a census ID, click here. So if you don't have the number and it didn't come to you, you can always just go online anyway and just click that instead. So I filled it up. So then it asks me, is this my address? هذا عنواني. So بكبس وبعدين بيسألوني, on April 1st, were you living or staying at my address? And the answer is yes, I was. And what is your name and telephone number? So أنا بحط اسمي. So Rania, Diab, Mustafa, ورقم تلفوني. وبعدين بحط next وبعدين ببدأ household questions. So ببدأ start including yourself. So how many people were living or staying at 145 Illinois at my address? So how many people were living or staying at my address? And the number is 4 currently. We have 4 people in the house. So then I put everybody's name. So I put my husband's name and my daughter's name, and anyone else who's in our house. And then you click next, and then you go into, you just verify, were there any additional people that were not in this list? No, because that's everybody on my list. So anybody who's living in your house at the time, you would fill this information out for them. So if they're staying with you temporarily, or if they're living with you, anyone who's there at April 1st, and even if you're pregnant and you're expecting to have a baby within the next couple of months, you have to put them in here. Or if someone's living in your basement or in a room or whatever it is, you need to fill out this information here. So then on April 1st was the house, apartment, or mobile home at my address owned by you or someone in this household with a mortgage or loan, owned by you or someone in this household free and clear. I'm not sure which one this would be. I think number, yes. Okay, so next. Okay, select all of the people who owned the house or more. So that would be my husband. Correct. Next. Then we're gonna go to people questions, right? I think so. So now we have to start selecting. So I'm not gonna go through all of them. So I'll just do mine, just so you guys have an idea. So Rania Diab is Ibrahim's what? I am opposite sex, husband, wife, or spouse of my husband. Next. I am a female. What is my birth date? You guys can all send me presents on my birthday. It's October 25th. Oops, not 27th. That is not my birthday. 1992. Verify or enter the correct age. Yep, I'm 27 years old. My grandmother is Venezuelan, so I do consider myself Hispanic. So I put Venezuelan. And then what do I consider myself? So this is the most important one. So I need everybody to pay attention here. So what do I consider myself? I, as Rania, do not consider myself white. I am not black. I'm not American Indian, not Chinese, Filipino, Asian. Unfortunately, Arab is not here. So I'm going to put other Asian, and then I'm going to put Palestinian because that's that's how I identify. And then I'm going to put, oh, not other Asian. Sorry, that was the wrong one. So you're not other Asian. It's other, some other race. So I put Palestinian. And that's the last option here, and there's a write-in. No matter what you choose, there is a write-in, so you're able to check on, or the ones that have, they have a write-in, so you can fill it out no matter how you want it. And then you keep going, and you do all the rest of the people in your family, and then you just go through the final questions. So I'm not going to, or I guess I'll do them very quickly. What is Ibrahim's male? And December 26th, 1991, 28, correct, next, no, next.
Question.
How do you consider yourself?
Question.
Yes.
Why would you write Palestinian, not Arab?
That is a very good question. So, for this census, they want you to be as specific as possible. So they have their algorithms on the back end where they're going to be grouping all different Arabs together. So for example, if you put Palestinian, Egyptian, Syrian, whatever it is, they have their coding on the back that they're going to group that as Arab. But the more data you give them, the better, because again, this is all about statistics and information. So they want the more specific information. So if you are more comfortable just identifying as Arab, put Arab. If you're more comfortable as identifying as Palestinian, put Palestinian. If you're a mix, let's say you're Egyptian Palestinian or Egyptian Syrian or Syrian Palestinian, whatever it is, you can put whatever you want. You can put both races, and the more specific you are, the better it is. That's what the U.S. Census Bureau recommended. So I'm going to ask my husband, what do you assume, white?
White and Palestinian.
So then he's white and Palestinian because he's actually half white, half Palestinian. So then we have that. So we're going to put next. And then we go to the next one, which is my daughter. And she is Ibrahim, he says, biological son or daughter. Next. What is her sex? She's a female. Her birth date, June. So that is the point that you want to put everybody in your household. So a lot of people actually don't count kids, and one of the most, I don't know, is she considered, I guess not. One of the most undercounted people are actually children under the age of 5. So, and you can also, this is a fun fact, so you can check off more than one. So for example, like my daughter, who's a mix of a bunch of things, so I'm going to check off white because she is partially white, and then I'm going to put some other race, and I'm going to put Palestinian, even Venezuelan, because she is a quarter Venezuelan. So that's the point. You just keep putting as specific as possible. And then we have anyone else who's living in our household. So she is... I'm just making sure. So you have to go through the list and make sure that you are filling the right categories, which right now is the relationship to the house owner, their sex, and then their birth date. November 14, 16, 15. And you should remember, make sure you know everybody's birthdays when you're doing this, because you shouldn't be making up information. And next. And then here again, like I said, you check off whatever you feel comfortable with, and you move on from there. So now I finished the personnel, so everybody in my family is filled out. And then we're going to go to the final question. So the final question is, we would like to make sure that everybody in your house is counted. They specify, like, do you have any grandparents that live in the house? So it's not your nuclear family. It's anyone living in your house. Even if it's, for example, like a friend that's living in your house for a while, you definitely would count them all. Do any of the following usually live or stay somewhere else? Next. Just confirm. Yes, next.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, so you should check none of the above because that question does not apply. And then we're done. So then at this, you end it. You put submit questionnaire. If you're like iffy about anything, you can always go back and click edit questionnaire. Otherwise, you're going to click submit. And with that, congratulations. You just completed this census. And you made sure that you count, because that's the goal of this whole thing, is that we want to make sure that our voice is heard and that we count as Arab Americans, because in the end of the day, what happens with this data is they take this data and then it goes towards voting. Beyond that, it goes towards, the housing, hospitals, schools, roads, everything that you see, everything that's governmental funding. This is what determines how much funding we get to this. So if you want better schools, if you want better healthcare, if you want better anything pretty much that's government funded, this is to make sure that you count. And in addition to this, what we're doing as Arab Americans is we're making sure that we are putting it down as other and we're signing as Arab Americans, because what we want it to be known is that this is who we are, that we don't necessarily consider ourselves as white, we consider ourselves Arab, and then you can be as specific as possible. And at the end of the day, you do what makes you feel comfortable, and you do whatever you feel you identify as. And that's it. It was really quick. Took less than 10 minutes? About 10 minutes? And I know you can watch 5 episodes, times this to make an episode. Anyway, with that, I wish you all a good night. Please make sure to fill out the census. I hope you all stay safe and healthy, and have a wonderful rest of your night.